Okay! Can I get something off my chest? I'm starting to get sick of the whole remake era that we're currently living in. It seems like for the past few years, every other major release or upcoming game has been some sort of remake. Not remaster though, there is a difference. A remaster is like going from this to this. It's the same game basically, just prettier assets and maybe a couple new features. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Shadow of the Colossus, Resident Evil 2, CTR, Link's Awakening, Metroid Samus Returns, Yakuza Kiwami, Modern Warfare, Majora's Mask. Should I keep going? But it's okay because some of these remakes are necessary to reintroduce an IP that's been MIA for years to the current demographic, like Crash. But what happens when a game is remade twice? Yeah, one game, two remakes. And they're not even that far apart. Now, we do have the PS4 remake coming out later this month, so some of you may be wondering what I mean by two. There was another remake? Yeah, and that's what we're getting into today. MediEvil has always been one of those games that I've always had fond memories of for never really playing it. Okay, actually, as a kid, I had this PlayStation Underground demo disc for the PS1. This is what you'd get demos on back in the day. You sign up for the PlayStation Underground magazine, and then they'd send you demo discs to sample upcoming games. The one I had growing up had demos for Spyro 1, Crash Bandicoot 3, Brave Fencer Musashi, Wild 9, and of course, MediEvil. Obviously, I played the Spyro demo a bunch, but MediEvil was the other one I always went back to. But that's all the experience I have with MediEvil. I own the game digitally on the PlayStation Store, but I just never got around to playing it. With the PS4 remake coming out and the demo shadow dropping on us, it sparked my curiosity in the franchise again. So while I was playing the PS4 demo, that's when it clicked with me. We already have a remake. This game is called MediEvil Resurrection. It was a launch title for the PSP back in 2005. It's considered a reimagining of the first game, so it is a remake, but it's different in a lot of ways. What I find really interesting though is that the original game was developed by Sony Computer Entertainment Cambridge, while this PSP remake was developed by the same team. Yeah, 7 years later after the original game released, they took another crack at making the game more modern for the time. And my first impressions are pretty positive. I mean, the game looks really nice visually, so why are we getting another remake of the same game 14 years later? Wasn't this one good enough? No. So, let's see what we're getting into. The story between the two is somewhat the same, with Resurrection trying to go the more comedic route, and I emphasize trying. They really lean into the fact that Dan was actually a huge coward and not the hero of Gallowmere that everyone claims he is. His heroic tale just got more and more inflated as time went on, so no one really knew the real story. They also show what he looked like as a human, and Resurrection also introduces this thing. I think he's a genie or something, or whatever he is, he's annoying. This guy's been living in Dan's head while he's been dead, with Zarok accidentally resurrecting Sir Dan. This little annoying genie accompanies you throughout the entire game, and it's awful. Gameplay-wise, though, it does feel really good, a lot tighter than the original. The original game felt like you didn't really have control of your attacks. You ran too fast for close combat. Resurrection has sturdier controls and even a lock-on feature to help you strafe. This helps way more than you can imagine. The cutscenes also look better and worse at the same time. I think my biggest problem with Resurrection is that it tries so hard to be funny. Every other ounce of dialogue spoken is just another attempt at a joke. It's nothing but jokes, and it's extremely annoying. See, I really like the atmosphere and the setting the original one had. It was really ominous and eerie, definitely gave me a spooky feeling, and I really liked it. Resurrection feels like the definition of we need a kids game. It's fun to control, and I think that's what helps make it better than the original, but I think I'd rather go to the original. So now that we covered the PSP remake, what about the PS4 remake? Well, the PS4 version's being developed by Other Oceans, who created... Alright, not the best start, but hey, they've made stuff. Now, I'm basing my current opinions off the PS4 demo, and honestly,
I'm fairly surprised. This remake is very faithful to the original in many ways. The story is exactly the same, and it sounds like they even got the same voice actors to reprise their roles. Given the fact that it's a remake of a game from 1998, the PS4 capabilities really help emphasize the original atmosphere. It's so good. I love this game's setting and the way the characters talk. I also can't stress enough how similar the voices sound to the original.
It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortescue, see? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortescue, see? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge.
Now, gameplay-wise, it's more in line with a PS1 game rather than the PSP game. You still run around and swing your sword, but Sir Dan moves a bit slower, so he isn't flailing around. I feel more in control. He doesn't have the lock-on from the PSP remake, but he does have a new version of the Dan cam, kinda giving it the Resident Evil 4 camera. I actually really like this camera change. I just wish we didn't have to hold a button to get it. It'd be nice if we had the option to just tap it so we can keep the camera like that if we wanted to. Level design also seems to be exactly the same from the PS1 game, instead of the rehaul we got in the PSP remake, which is good. This is a proper reintroduction of the classic PS1 game to the modern audience. But I guess we should revisit the question of the video: do we need another MediEvil remake? The simple answer: yes. I think it's important that we have a proper remake of the series instead of leaving it with the reimagining we got in 2005. Should you avoid the PSP remake then? No, not at all. It's an interesting alternate version of the first MediEvil. I feel that it's important that we have both versions, one as a faithful remake and the other as a possible what-if scenario. Both versions are pretty affordable too, which is good. The PS4 remake is going to retail for about $30 brand new, while Resurrection goes for about $10 on the used games market. So if you want to try both, it's very easy to get your hands on them. With the game coming out at the end of this month, only time will tell if this PS4 remake is all that it's cracking up to be. Be sure to subscribe here to see how the remake ends up being. Currently trying to get my hands on a review code so I can get a video out quicker. So with that said, I'll see you all in the next video. Just want to give a quick shout out to both my channel members, Pal Polarize, especially you for going on for 14 months straight. Keep going, man. That really means a lot to me and it really helps out the channel. And thank you, Goonjita, for 4 months straight. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a member. You will get access to custom emojis during live streams, and you get a little gem next to your name indicating how long you've been a member, showing that you're supporting the channel. If you want to stay up to date, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that stuff, and follow me on Twitter. That is where I am the most active. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.